Entrepreneurs who start and run a business gain a lot of experience in all aspects of business administration and management. My Business Talk guest is Mark Magoni, an entrepreneur that founded and successfully operates 3 businesses. Let's hear from Mark about his experience becoming and being an entrepreneur. Hi Mark, welcome to Proactive Hub's Business Talk. Thank you for being our guest and sharing your insights with us.
Well, thanks for having me.
I'd like to start with branch out. What's the offering? What's the services that you provide?
So we've got an event. Branch Out is an adventure travel company, and we help people in a number of different ways. So number one is we organise adventure travel for private groups, and they might be international guests or they might be domestic guests. Secondly, we've got an Explorer program which helps kids to get out, develop resilience, get away from iPads, get into being immersed in nature basically, and probably starting to develop some adventurous spirit. And then the third is our latest creation, which is Flow, and that helps businesses and teams to further their professional skill sets. So what we found in the 5 years that Branch Out's been running is nature has a massive impact on our human frame of mind and our body. And so we're using some of the human performance skills and also our knowledge now of biophilia, which is study of nature and the natural world, and combine that together to help teams to look at their team performance and how they think creatively and how they think about innovation, how they work together more tightly, how they become high-performing teams.
So it sounds it's not just like a team-building exercise that you can find with other venture companies. It's beyond that. It's much more also on a management level as well. Coming
from the background I came from, it was quite easy to go, well, I should set up a team-building business. But having been on those kind of events myself dozens of times, and loathed every single one of them, I wanted to create something that was going to be valuable to not just the company, but the individual. And so I resisted doing these things because we really hadn't developed our own understanding of what it was we were dealing with. So the research that was needed to understand what happens to the body, what happens to the brain in the natural world. And, that's taken 5 years of experiments and study and research and developing our understanding to come up with that proposition. So now I feel with the right time, we've got the right expertise and the right knowledge behind us to be able to do something that's really impactful for people.
Is there still a missing part where you feel that perhaps a company complementer could bring some other value to your products or services?
We already work with different complementers, so accounting firms, legal firms, other professional services organisations, consulting groups, organisational psychologists. And for me, the quality of that network is so important and can maximise the value to our client organisation, our target customer. So if we can work with complementers who are high quality, who offer complementary skill sets, and who also are happy to have that referral process and that shared relationship with the client, I think it helps everybody. Helps you grow your own business, helps your partner grow, and also adds enormous value to the client organizations that you're working with.
Could you say you would be a great complementer as a business for other companies as well?
Well, I think absolutely. We are a niche business and boutique in that regard. So we want to grow and we want to expand, but we also know what we're good at and we know what we don't do. So I think that's where there's a nice when there is that natural connection to another company who's got similar values in the way that they want to treat the customer, and similar approaches in the quality and standard of work, then I think we would be a really good complementer to someone else.
One other question I have, which is around professional complementors, more the individuals with certain management and functional skills and competencies. Do you feel that you still have some needs in this regards where you would say, I would be happy to get some support or consultancy from business professionals with certain complementary expertise? In which field would that be?
That's a really, really good question. Well, ultimately, yes, because I think you're only limited by what you know. So expanding that knowledge base is really important. I think some of our kind of big hit areas at the moment, some of our big gaps are around the changing world of marketing and how we market well and do it from a high quality point of view. And we don't know. It's simply just such a moving beast that people with that kind of expertise would be we really enjoy speaking to.
With all your experience that you have as an entrepreneur, what would you recommend or give any advice to other managing directors or entrepreneurs?
Yeah, well, I think it's, in my opinion, the entrepreneur needs to be solving problems and with ideas. And so by that, I mean, we've got to move beyond our own skill set, because in our own skill set, we're working within the constraints of what we've already been taught by somebody else. So we've got to use our own skills, our own values, our imagination and our expertise and look to lift it. And that's where I think entrepreneurial spirit comes from, is that ability to look at problems that civilization might face, or social, or whoever, or business, or your consumer, and look to generate ideas around those problems. I think that's number one. Start with the idea, start with the problem. Second is around technology. We've got to embrace technology. It needs to be embraced, but we've got to start with that imagination piece first and look to how do we attack that with the available tools around us, not start from a technology point of view. And then a third is, I think, read as much as you can. You've got to read more than anyone else. You've got to listen to advice and look to troubleshoot different ideas with other people, take on advice, just keep on deepening that knowledge around what it is you're trying to do, and almost look to trip yourself up before anyone else can.
These are really good insights, really good advices that I think a lot of our audiences, which are entrepreneurs and managing directors, will take into consideration. Thank you so much for sharing all these insights with us. Mark is one of our members on Proactive Hub. If you want to hear more from his experience, get in touch with him on our hub, on Proactive Hub. This was another talk provided by Proactive Hub. My name is Silvano. Thank you for watching.